Righto guys, welcome to another tutorial. This one's actually on the some of the new software now. So XAG have brought out a new app and also some new software for the newer aircrafts, including the V40, the P40, P100, and also some of the mapping drones also. So what we're going to go through today in this video is pretty much explain, look, you've turned on your drone, well, pretty much you've already set up your drone, you've bought a brand new drone, you've already added all the devices in. Most of the time we'll do that from factory anyway, before it leaves our workshop, we'll do that. So once, you get back home or you get up to a new job and you want to start working pretty much. So pretty much you've got your main app down here at the bottom. It's called XAG One. So you can go on to either XAG Australia or just have a chat to your local distributor and they'll be able to set you up with the app. So once you've already set an up account, you should have already done all that when you've done your manufacturer training, set up your account, added all the devices to your account and everything like that. So pretty much you'll see we're at our workshop here. We've done some little testing fields already there. We can actually delete them. We might delete them so that we're not going to have any interference or anything with this. This was just some of our tests. You'll see we've got like a rough sort of satellite image in the background. You can use this for some mapping. You can also map it by hand using the ACS2G, or you can use the Real Terra or the X missions. Or the M500, sorry now. So what we're going to do, pretty much, you've got to make sure your drone's on. So put a battery in your drone. Make sure your LNT is powered up. I'll just say we're going to do this video as if you're operating off LNT, which most of our users in Australia are. So make sure, firstly, your LNT is plugged into a battery or into a 12-volt cigarette socket. The battery's on, the LNT is powered up. You've got at least 3 lights, so the 2 on the left and the far right-hand side light. If you are connected to the internet, you can also have the 4th light on in the middle, but you don't need internet to operate any of these equipments. Only to mainly do updates, or if you want to update it or do any of those sort of things. So now if you go down to the bottom, you've got field, operation, and me. So if you want to click on me, so pretty much this gives us, how many, a bit of operating records here. So we've, what is it now, the 28th of September. We've had this P100 for about a month now. So we've been putting it to work. And you can see, it's done 370 hectares, 48 hours and those sort of things. You can go on to that and go into more detailed reports as well. But we're not going to go all through this on this video. So what you want to do, you've powered everything up, you've turned the drone on, you've turned the ACS2 on. You really don't need the ACS2 to operate, but it's a good backup. We recommend it. If a phone goes flat and all of a sudden the farmer's coming to the field, it's always good to have the ACS2 on because you can take over it manually. So you go into devices, you see in operation devices, we've got Bruce. I don't know why it says Bruce twice there. I must have put his name in twice. Jenny and also Scarlett down the bottom, and we've got the ACS2 and also the RTK. So operation devices, that's pretty much, you only want to put on operation devices the devices that you're using for your operation. So, you might have 5 drones, but when you're actually spraying at this field, you might only be using 1 or 2 of them. So when we go to operations page, you can see down the bottom,
Bruce, no cloud-based station nearby.
Jenny's there, and also if we
Bruce, no cloud-based station nearby
as well. And it's saying no cloud station nearby because we haven't set RTK up yet. So we'll go through how to do that. But you can see right down the bottom it says Jenny and Bruce. That's if you want to do swarming. Otherwise, we can just have 1 drone on there. So I might get rid of Jenny so I can set operation as operating device. I'll cancel that because we're not going to be using her. So we'll go out of that. So now you can see Jenny's gone down the bottom. So the only operation device now is Bruce. So when you first set up, what you want to do is, everything's powered on. also power your RTK on. Give it, a minute or two just so it collects all its satellites and everything like that. Then what you do is you go to your RTK. So you can see I'm a little bit far away from the LNT at the moment. I'm in the office, so that's why it keeps connecting and disconnecting. But anyway, so we can click on the RTK, see how it's lit up. That means that it's connected. So what you want to do now, you can see there's some info on it. It's got 18 satellites and everything like that. Yeah, there's nothing. That's enough satellites to operate on. So all we want to do now, this keeps going offline because I'm quite a distance away from it. So we want to press set datum over there, and then you just want to press single point. So we press single point. Hang on, I might have to go closer. So we'll go set datum. So it says start single point positioning now. So what that is doing is it's gathering all, gathering where it is pretty much in on Earth. So it's taking all the satellite information, it's getting it, and it's going to go to that fixed point. So once that, it'll take probably 30 seconds to a minute to get into a fixed location. So you can see where it says orange, it says single. So you've got to wait until that says fixed. Otherwise, one, your drone won't go into RTK mode, and also it's not going to be accurate. So you can see now that's where it's set up outside our workshop. So that's a rough sort of position. If you go down here, so it's got the coordinates of where it is also. So that's all that. Oh, we can go out of that. So that's all that one. So now we can go back out of that. So it has to be in a fixed to connect anything, if that makes sense. So after you've done that, you just have to tell the drone to talk to the RTK. So you go, this is still in your settings. So you go to Bruce, where we've got Bruce on at the moment. So you go over here, you've got a little up the top, you've got multiple different icons up the top. These are all your settings. So this is all the communications, your satellites, your batteries, your sprays, your props, and also your radars. So we want to go to the satellite symbol. So where it says RTK base station, there's a little arrow there on the right. So we want to click on that arrow. And we're not using a cores network. We're going to use an RTK station. So we want to click on that. And then you'll see it says this is the RTK that we're using. If we zoom in, that's the one that we're going to be using. So what you want to do is actually click on where it says XBase, or click on the name of it, and then there's a button on the right there that says connection. So that's just
Base station setting successful.
That's connecting the drone to the RTK network, or to your base station that you've set up. So pretty much that takes, once you've done that, you go out of that, go back out of that. You see how it says RTK positioning, it says locating. To be honest, I will be very surprised if it goes active, because the drone is actually in the shed at the moment. So it's probably not going to go into RTK mode because it's inside the shed, not outside, talking to the GPS. So pretty much now it says that RTK station is connected to that one, so it's number 3650. That's the one you want to use. And then it says RTK positioning. It says locating because it's inside the shed. You can see it's only got 9 satellites. Even in the shed, it's only got 9. So if I put it outside, it'd get probably 22, 24. Most of the time we get over 20 here where we are, which is more than enough. So pretty much it'll only let you go when it says RTK positioning. Instead of locating, it'll say active. Sometimes, worst case, if it doesn't come up, if this RTK base station, if nothing comes up there, or if it says 0, just go back onto it, go back in there, and then just refresh the page. And then all you have to do is just go click on there and go connect again. Like, it happens rarely, but sometimes that is a fix. If it doesn't connect the first time, you might have to do it again. So out of that, go out of that. It's also, so you can see Bruce at the moment.
Bruce remote controller offline.
We haven't got it. We haven't connected the remote to him either. So pretty much he's all good to go, but he's not connected. Well, he's connected to the base station, but you can see down the bottom where it says underneath Bruce there, RTK's got a little blue symbol. That needs to be lit up. That RTK lettering, because that means that it's connected. Well, it is connected, but at the moment it's not, because it's inside the shed.
Boost remote controller offline.
So we go back out of that. So now pretty much you're ready to fly, if that makes sense. So everything's all good to go there. If you want to do a manual flight, all you would have to do is on the right hand side here, there's a little green symbol of an ACS2. So you click on that. Sometimes it'll be red if you haven't paired it in the controllers yet. So all you have to do is click on that little symbol, then just it'll bring up the ACS2s that you've got, and
Boost remote controller offline.
make sure it's on, and then just click pair, and then it'll bring that up. No worries at all. Then all you have to do is make sure, before any manual flying, you also need to have your RTK set up as well. So that's a little run through, I guess, of setting up when you first get to a job, setting up the RTK, and also telling the drone to go into RTK mode. Righto, I think we'll do another video on some mapping. Cheers.